Two sisters talk about dumb shit. We hope you like it. Cause if not, then we'll kill ourselves and the blood will be on your hands. Young old!
I don't think I'm gonna laugh that much this episode because I'm not in a laughing mood.
You're not in a laughing mood, you
I'm
say?
not in a laughing mood.
Okay,
ready?
Biter, you're gonna need to shut
Biter,
the fuck
you have
up.
to stop. Are you ready? Can I have a sip of that?
No!
Damn it! Okay.
It's like, why
okay.
do you think, the definition of insanity is trying the same thing?
Because sometimes it does work. And I'm gonna get it too.
But I don't want you
and then it won't be insane.
Listen.
Eve the other day.
Okay. Welcome back, young.
Welcome back,
Openers!
Okay, wait, just a minute on how we're wearing slightly like cuter, more fitted hoodies, and I was gonna wear like my usual baggy hoodie, but then Eve is like, should I wear this? And it was it's not a fashion school lady, it's a middle school, like office lady.
I wasn't vibing that. I literally was just like, should I wear those?
Anyway, and then I was like, okay, well then I have to put on a cute, tight little hoodie because otherwise you guys will think that. Oh my god, sorry.
Okay, no. It was just the way you did it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That
everyone.
I was like,
oh my god, sorry.
gave me the ick.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I didn't need to give you the ick.
No,
Let's
no,
rewind.
that's
You can just cut
fine.
it all out.
Okay, no, we're just gonna have a cold open, and that's fine.
Okay.
And that's what the people are here for.
Hello, young Goldenators.
But basically, like, the other, like, Dana knows that, like, I'm not trying to do fucking shit for anyone, okay? And she's like sitting in bed and she's like, can you fill my water? And I'm like,
I'm sick.
and I literally was like, I was sick. Did I ever ask anyone to fill my water? Anyways, so
but I would have if you had
okay,
asked.
cool, great. I didn't. Also, I've made this clear before, but it's a one-way street.
All right. Well,
Okay.
whatever.
So yeah, she's like, can you fill my water? And I'm like, okay, clearly I have not been making myself clear. Like, I thought I was being
used to
rude as
pay
fuck.
Eve to get me water.
Right.
This was like literally. There's.
I thought that
have we
I
talked
had-
about this? Have we talked about
I
Venmo
think
for
we have.
water?
I think we have.
Yeah, I used to Venmo Eve like 10 cents to get me water.
I think price has gone up.
What is it now?
Too high for you to afford.
I can't afford it.
Too high for you to afford.
All right. Well.
Yeah, but I'm like, okay, clearly I need to start being meaner and like, because clearly I'm too welcoming, too kind.
Yeah.
Because she's asking me to fill her water, and I'm like, I don't know why you think that that's something you could ask of me.
Because it's something that would be nice if you did it. Because it's something that I want. I think that's manifesting. It's just asking the people in your life for the things that you want.
Like, you don't realize the emotional toll it takes on me.
No, it doesn't take any emotional.
Yes, it does.
No,
Yes,
it doesn't.
it does.
No, it doesn't. I know that it doesn't because you say no with such ease. And I'm helping you set boundaries.
I guess.
Anyway, nice necklace.
Thank you. My boyfriend got it for me.
At first, you thought it was chooky.
At first, I thought it was chuggy.
But
Okay,
then
you
but then
started
we
to be
realized
quiet.
it's like it's so chuggy. It's like post chug.
No, it's so true that it's post
It's
chug.
post-chug.
Also, it's really beautiful.
It is
like,
beautiful.
Just
It's really
on its
pretty.
own, it's Swarovski.
It's a quality necklace.
It's an infinity. And also, I like that it matches this jacket, like with the gems.
Oh my god, yeah, it looks really
You know?
good.
And so it actually, and also right after got it for me, I saw an article about how like 2014 Tumblr
Is back in these sleeves.
and that's
American
like
Apparel. Oh, I want to be an American Apparel model now. American Apparel, if you're watching
isn't
this.
it LA Apparel now? Or
Yeah,
something?
now it's LA Apparel, but it's the same vibe, and I
Okay.
literally am like, I think I'm a good aesthetic fit for that brand. Not for any other
How
brand,
do you
really.
go about doing that?
I have no idea. I mean, Robert was like, you should just message them, and I'm like, I guess I could.
I guess you
theoretically.
could. I mean, if they,
I mean,
why not?
there are a lot of people who would be less good. I don't know. Oh, can I tell a Depop horror story? Because I'm wearing this jacket. and
Depop
it's
horror
making me-
story?
it's making me think
Okay.
about this. Okay. So I, right now, don't have Depop because I'm scared to look at my messages, because basically what happened is a couple months ago, I got into kind of a Depop hole where I was kind of like buying a lot of things from Depop, you remember?
I do remember that.
And one time I ordered this jacket that I thought was going to be really cute. It was like corduroy, it had little like rabbit fur cuffs, like it's very Dana. And it didn't come. The girl accidentally swapped my package with another person's package, and instead she sent this little leather halter and this little leather mini skirt, which is really like cute, but like not what I ordered. And basically she was just like, hey, can you send that back to the post office and then I'll send you your thing? And then I never sent it back to the post office because I was like, it's too much for me to go to the post office. And then I deleted Depop so that I don't have to look at the messages anymore.
Oh my god.
I know. It's too much for me to go to the post office. Doesn't that sound... I'm sorry, but like the second that I have to go back to the post office, I'm like, no, you lost me. That's my job now. Like,
okay, obviously, yeah, that is on her.
it is on her. I get that, like, I could have been like... But what should I have done then? Like,
if you were like,
I'm not gonna go to the post office. Like, that's just not gonna fucking happen at this point. Like, I'm just, like, I'm not a Depop girly. There's a reason that I'm not selling on Depop, and it's because I don't want to go to the damn fucking post office. And so fucking, if you send me the wrong thing, no, I don't want to go back to the post office. You know what I mean?
This clearly has a lot of trauma for you. This clearly is a really
because I have male trauma.
But
a lot of...
No, I agree. Like,
I think a lot of people do. And I think that's actually what prevents a lot of people from being online sellers.
I think I'd be pissed off too, because it's like, I'm just trying to like order something on my phone and like have it shipped to my house. Like, never.
Like, I'm not trying to go to the fucking post office.
And also, it's like people underestimate how much going to the post office drains you.
I know.
Like,
because there's like a
especially
line.
in LA. Like, going to
you guys, it's
the
a whole
post
day.
office.
That's a 2-hour errand.
Yeah, going to the post office in our hometown, like, that's one thing, because it's like really easy to like, do that. But even that, I'm still a lazy piece of shit. And
there still usually is a line, even at the Palo Alto
right.
post
Even
office.
if I'm there and like I still have to go to the post, like it's still a chore. Nobody anywhere, even if the post office is right outside your house, no one wants to do it. And you know what? That was something so crazy about my boyfriend is that he like actually returns things from Amazon.
Okay, I've never met anyone who returns anything from Amazon. I'm like, you're never gonna catch me fucking... I'm not gonna box something back up.
Yeah, we're so bad about... We, like, don't return things. Because, like, that's so much
It's so much work.
But didn't you say you have money tied up in Urban Outfitters pants?
Yeah, but I actually returned... I did all my returns yesterday.
You did?
I felt really good.
That's really
and I
good.
made, like, $500.
Wow, made. Maid is returning.
And then I bought a Victoria's Secret body mist so that I can be a sexy 8th grader.
Ew! Alright, like,
sorry, I know you're upset with me
twice
today.
today.
I'm sorry. It's my mom. It's mom coming out. It's becoming mom.
It's giving mom.
It's giving
Except
mom.
for mom would never buy a perfume in her life.
No, because it would give her a headache.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else did we want to talk about? But let me know if you think I'm wrong about the Depop thing, because I'm just kind of like of the mind where I'm like, I'll just keep the leather set, I guess, and then you can keep the jacket, and then I don't.
I feel like you could have. Even before you delete. Okay, honestly though, it's not on you. Like, it's not.
I just got so anxious when she was like, "Can you mail
you.
it back?" I literally got so anxious. I was like, "I can't look at this app anymore, and I'm never doing this again."
That's on her as a business runner. Like, she messed up the products, and like that's the kind of risk that she's taking on as a Depop seller.
Yeah,
that kind of thing might happen if she does it. And
that
the person may not want to send
Also, she
it back.
still has my money from the jacket, so I don't feel bad in that regard.
Right, you already paid
I'm like,
her.
I paid you.
I
paid you, and so did the other person.
Yeah.
I'm like, you got your money. I'm like,
I would say
I
it's
feel
her
the
fault
only
for
reason I
switching
feel
them.
bad is because I'm like, if the other person really wanted that leather set, I'm like, I feel
But
bad
you
for
really
them.
wanted the thing you
But
wanted
I really wanted
too.
the thing I wanted too, and I didn't get it.
So
and I was just like, I'm just not gonna go to the post office.
I think it's just like she fucked up.
But yeah, so I deleted Depop and I haven't been on since because I'm scared to look at
Obviously,
messages.
if you were like, it would be really fucking nice if you did that, but that'd be you like covering for her.
Right.
Like, it'd be really like, yeah, that'd be great.
Like,
if I was her, I would
going
love
out of my
right.
way. And
But
I know
you're not
a lot
obligated
of
to do
people who
that.
would do that. Like, I have so many friends, I'm like, I know that you would mail it back and stuff like that. But I'm like, literally the idea of going to the post office gave me so much anxiety that I deleted the app right then and there. She literally was like, hey, she literally was like, can I email you the posting label?
And you were like, I'm gonna kill
label.
myself.
And I literally was like, delete.
You
Depop,
literally like,
never
yeah,
again.
never again.
I'm like, this has to be erased from my life now.
Never again. Never again.
And I feel so bad about that because it's like, I'm a fucking adult ass woman, and I'm like, I could not deal with her being like, here's the postage label, send it back. No. So,
Dude,
anyway.
the post office is so anxiety inducing.
Oh my god. I don't know what it is.
It's literally just like having to go somewhere and like park and like get out of your car and like go into a place and then like wait in line.
Also, I feel like sending mail is like the ultimate like being perceived.
That's not how I'm just
Okay.
like, I don't care if I look like fucking shit. Like,
No, I just mean like when you send mail, I don't know, mail is also usually so stressful. Like, if you're mailing something, it's because it's like important and there's like something like tied up in it.
I wish that you could like just put like, you know
how you get mail.
Yeah, exactly. Why can't you put it in your mailbox and then they take it?
You can.
You can?
I just don't know how.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
How does that work?
not really sure. 'Cause you have to have your own shipping labels and stuff like that. That's what Stamps.com is. The thing that is advertised on Code's podcast. Stamps.com, sponsor us. We clearly really need you.
We need it. Am I wrong to assume that you wouldn't want to print out a label either, though?
Well, I don't have a printer right now.
We don't have a printer.
We don't have a printer right now. Look, I'm always in like this state of like disarray, and I'm always just like, when am I gonna get it together? And then when I feel sick, I even feel more that way.
I mean, I was sick this week also. You can still kind of hear it. It was bad. I hate being sick because it's like I don't get, like, other people have to like do things.
Right, like other people when they're sick.
Like if you're going to school or something and you're sick, you're like, oh, I get to skip school. But like for me, it's like I'm always fucking being a lazy piece of shit. Mm-hmm. So when I'm sick, it's like
our life is like
I
sick
just
days,
am lazy,
but with no sick.
But then I feel bad. So it's like, what's the fun? There's no fun. It only sucks.
It only sucks. Yeah, it only sucks.
Yeah.
I'm sick. I think I was sick like the same time as you, and I think I would have been over it by now, but I chose to ignore it. It's like kind of sick that you could ignore kind of if you wanted to. And I ignored it on Thursday and Friday because I had shit to do, and now I feel like shit.
Wow, guys, way to not ask us for advice.
It's okay. I wouldn't ask us for advice either. Just kidding. If I wouldn't, I've never asked anyone for advice. Like whenever YouTubers are like, I'm doing advice, like ask me a question. I've never done that. Have you?
I would have YouTubers that I really liked do that, and I would think so hard about what to ask them because I really wanted to do it. Yeah. But I could never think of anything.
Oh my god. See, I never did.
Okay, we have one.
Oh, we have one.
Okay, whoever G is, like, thank you for wanting our advice. Thank you for wanting our advice. And then we're gonna fucking give it to you. Okay. Hey guys, I recently graduated college and I decided I'd try and work in a law firm to see if I'd be interested in going to law school. It turns out that working in a law firm sucks. I could have told you that. Working here makes me feel borderline suicidal, but I have to keep working here to pay bills. I'm thinking maybe I should keep working here for the rest of the year and build up my resume, but I don't know if I can do it. What should I do? P.S. A big fan of the podcast. Happy to see you guys back at it.
First of all, thank you, G, and we're happy to be back doing the pod. Second of all, okay, so I guess this is kind of a complicated question because I'm not really sure what your long-term goals are.
Or, like, the rest of your financial situation. Because you said you have to work there to pay bills, but it's like, is there any sort of options?
Do you have alternate sources of income? Like, could you get a different job? How easy would that be? So, okay, let's do two scenarios. One scenario is you stick it out, in which case you need to figure out a way to cope with it and make it work for you.
Yes.
So, in that regard, I would say figure out, first of all, start wearing, like, a lot of pink, like, all wood style. Start, like, really dressing.
Oh, is that gonna...
I don't know.
Maybe.
That would, like, that would help me feel better if I was just like, oh, I'm gonna, like, pretend to play this part.
Also,
of, like,
is this person... Like,
are you a boy or girl?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. You should still wear pink.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Wear pink. Elwood style. I would say, like, if you have to get through it, find coping strategies that are going to make it easier for you to
I like how this person's talking about being a lawyer, and then Dana's immediate response is just like, oh, just, like, be Elle Woods. She looks like she's having a fun time.
But like that's what I would do if I was in your situation.
Dana, I don't think being a lawyer is like actually like legally blonde.
No, I don't think it is either. But I think we can wear the same outfits.
Okay, that's true.
Okay, so just wear the same outfits.
Well, Mom had a friend who
Christine.
No, I was thinking of Leslie.
Who's Leslie?
When I was little, and Leslie like was like, oh, she's so cute, and I was like, I hate Leslie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because like. You know, I play hard to get. Yeah. And Leslie would always have like really pretty nails, and the race she won me over was by painting my nails. But Leslie was like she worked. She was like a lawyer or something, and so she would always dress really like nice and like have fun nails to like spice up.
So I would say start figuring out how to like make your outfits work for you.
Right. Like how can you make your day better?
How can you make your day better today? So I've had like shitty office jobs that I really didn't like.
Yeah. Also,
and
like, could you
help
work
me
from
was
home?
finding a good podcast to listen to while I was there.
Okay.
Sometimes,
okay.
Like literally, when I was working at this like really shitty real estate office, I was working there for a couple months, and I was just like listening to Seek Treatment the whole time.
Yeah, I love Seek Treatment.
And it was really, really helpful. So maybe you could just like listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
We'll keep making it for you. But if you do have to stick it out, I would just figure out like coping strategies to make yourself hated a little less.
Yeah.
What can you do to make yourself hated a little less? And then if you can quit, then quit. Life is short,
Yes.
baby.
If you
and, like,
can, definitely.
if you can do anything else and you think that would make you happier, you should do that. But if you have to stick it out, I would say, yeah, just find ways to make it a little better.
Yeah.
Dress a little cooler. Listen to a fun podcast. Give yourself little rewards, you know?
Little treats.
I don't know if that's good advice, but that's what I would do when I had a
Yeah.
shitty office job. And I'd buy myself, like, the foods that I wanted. I'd get a cupcake on my break.
Right, exactly.
Because there's a Susie Cakes down the block.
There you go.
So
We hope it works out for you.
We hope
Because
it
that
works
sounds
out
like
for
a
you.
bad situation.
it does. And I'm sorry that you have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that you thought working in a law firm would be cute and fun. And it wasn't.
Sounds like you watched Legally Blonde, maybe.
It sounds like maybe you watched, you watched a couple too many TV shows about the law.
And it wasn't all what it was cracked up to be.
Also, maybe develop, like, a cool drug problem or something.
What?
Just kidding. I don't know.
I mean, I guess
out.
you could, like, smoke weed or, like, take edibles. So, okay. What?
So, ultimately, our advice for working
It's
in
like,
law
do
firm
drugs.
is wear more pink and
Do drugs.
take edibles before you go to work.
I mean, that's what I did to, like, get through high school. When high school made me suicidal. Yeah, I just, like, wore cute clothes and, like, took edibles before class. Oh my god, it was literally insane how, like, my last few months at high school, like, I would literally just, like, in every class be like, like, I feel like I'd literally be putting my head down on the desk, like, I'm gonna fucking die. Just, like, violently high.
So you can do
Violently. And honestly, either my teachers never said anything or no one ever fucking noticed. But also, I would tell, like, my people sometimes, they'd be like, oh yeah, I was always so high in that class, and they'd be like, oh, like, I never noticed.
Yeah, you just seem like
Because, like, I just
tired or
yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah.
You just, like, don't, you just, like,
you don't notice.
you just send day it,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, totally.
I was literally Rue. Just saying.
She was literally Rue.
Just saying.
So it really wasn't that deep.
So it really wasn't that deep.
It really wasn't that deep.
Euphoria Finale, should we talk about that without Chubb? 'Cause
Sure.
he's not really, like, super...
He's not really into it.
He's not really into it, so we can talk about
Euphoria
that one.
Finale, it seems like people were disappointed across the board. Like, what I got is
Well,
that
everyone
everyone's
hated
like,
Elliot's song.
Elliot's song was
for
really
so long, and they
It was a
never
really long
addressed the
song.
suitcase thing.
They never addressed
with
the
Lori.
suitcase thing. They really dropped a lot of what seemed like pretty key plot points. I feel like this season, ultimately, I found to be a little disappointing.
Yeah.
But also cast me.
But also
Thank you.
cast us. But also we loved
Also,
it
Sam
and cast
Levinson,
us.
I love you. And
We want to
you're
be
a
the first
genius,
Asians on Euphoria.
And we would like to be the first Asians on Euphoria.
We love that.
Or just any Asians could be on Euphoria.
But,
we'd
like,
like
us.
it to be
But,
us.
like,
We'd like it to be us.
Asians are my second choice, but us is my first choice.
Us is my first choice, and then other Asians are
Yeah.
my second. Yeah, totally.
But I'm my first choice.
But I'm my first choice!
But I'm
Okay.
my fucking first choice.
Oh my god, that reminds me. There's these two, I always talk about them, but the two half Asian sisters who, like,
On
remind
TikTok
me
or
of us.
something?
Yeah,
Right,
but they're,
yeah.
like, really famous and they post a lot.
Oh, why
I
isn't
know.
that us?
Because you don't post. I literally was thinking about this today because I was watching their content and I was like, what's the difference between us and them? And the difference is that the younger sister actually posts. And they, like, make content together, and it's really cute. And I think that we could have in a different timeline been more like them. But they're also, I think they're, like, I don't know if they're, like, actually Mormon or if they just, like, don't do drugs or drink. Whatever, they're really cool. But, yeah, maybe also we're just, like, too stonery to, like, be like that.
Sorry about it.
But they, like, went to a premiere together, and they looked so cute. And I was like, that
Aw.
could have been us, but you're lazy.
That could have been us, but in the events like we go to, I will faint on the floor.
Yeah, I brought Eve to
Did we
something
talk
one
about?
time.
We
I
never
don't think
spoke
so.
about that. 'Cause
I
that
brought
happened
I brought
after.
Eve to an influencer dinner
Oh my
one
God, this is so embarrassing.
time, and she literally fainted from getting too high. Like, literally, and then she has not been invited back.
No. Oh well.
Also, you don't post.
Yeah,
so that's kind of
whatever.
like that's the one thing that sucks about influencer events is that you have to post.
I hate posting.
I don't.
say it.
I'll
fucking say
fluctuate
it.
in between, like, liking posting and, like, really hating posting.
I'll
Life is
say
hard.
it. I hate posting.
Some days I love to be perceived and I need to be perceived or I'll die, and then other days I don't want to be perceived.
See, I like literally don't care.
I know. You don't care.
Like if you perceive me, like that's your business.
But if you don't, she doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Remember when you made content?
No.
Oh, someone commented on our last video and asked if we saw you were on some ASMR episode.
Oh
something.
yeah, of
Did we wanna look at
Sarah
that?
and Brittany. I already watched it.
Oh, okay.
Sarah Shower.
Oh, Sarah and Brittany?
And Brittany Broski's podcast.
Oh.
And they mentioned me, and
What'd they say about you?
well, she was just like, oh, this ASMR artist Eve Donnelly, and I was like, Sarah, you've been to my house and met me. But maybe she didn't know my name. I don't think
she might have not known,
but we didn't like.
it might have not have clicked.
I don't think it clicked.
Yeah,
I don't think it clicked. But you know, if you're watching this, like,
I don't think she's watching this, but
No, I don't think
Sarah
she's
Shower, we're big fans of you.
we're big
and
fans.
you've been to our house.
And you've been to our house.
And I mean, she knows who I am.
Okay, well, little old me.
I mean, I'm sure she does know who you are, but probably not related to me. Maybe.
Little old me.
Anyway.
Well, she does, because she said.
Did they say nice things about your content?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I mean, it was like brief. It was just like, I don't know.
Okay.
Like the
Cool.
huge.
Well,
It was not. It was all
thanks,
good. Nothing.
guys.
They didn't badmouth me or
Okay,
anything.
that's good.
But it was nice to hear them talk about me because I really like them both.
Yeah, I know, big fans.
Big fan. Big
fans,
fan.
big
Big fan.
fans, big fans.
Something else I was gonna say, like kind of in relation to being perceived. I saw a tweet today, and it was like people talking. It was like a thread. People talking about how when they don't wear a bra, like.
People stare at their boobs.
Yeah, and I'm like,
I was
as
actually
someone
thinking
who
about this
never wears a
today.
bra, I'm like, I never. Maybe it's just because I never ever look at anyone, ever. Like
Yeah,
my
you
boyfriend,
really don't.
My
look at
boyfriend, when we go
anyone.
out, is always talking about like, oh, like this person was looking at you, like, blah, blah, like I don't know, not like in a weird way.
Okay,
you
this
know what I
sounds
mean?
really
like,
conceited,
but
but
he
I
always
literally
sees,
think
he always
I'm
notices
used.
everybody.
I think I'm so desensitized to being ogled because I'm so fucking weird looking. Like if you see me in public,
Is that what it is?
I don't know. I don't know what it is for you, but I know for me, I'm like, I'm used to people staring at me because I'm so fucking short and weird looking and I'm always doing something weird.
You're always wearing like.
I'm always wearing like a weird outfit and
Yeah.
I'm so fucking short and like I always look like a
Yeah.
fucking freak. So I think I'm just used to being stared at so I don't even notice anymore. But I also think maybe you wear really baggy clothes and people can't see
That's
that
true.
you
I'm
see your
usually not
boobs.
wearing anything that. But sometimes I am. I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure people are like looking at you.
But I literally, if they were, like, I wouldn't fucking notice.
Yeah.
Because
I
just
never notice when people are looking at me.
I mind my business, okay? I mind my fucking business. My boyfriend does not mind his business. He's a nosy ass bitch.
That's crazy that he's nosy.
He's very nosy.
Robert and I are so in our own world.
Yeah, I feel like you guys both.
We're so unobservant.
No,
It's,
I'm
like,
so
actually
unobservant,
crazy.
and it like embarrasses
We're all
him.
unobservant. Yeah, I'm
It
like,
like
really-
embarrasses him because
Also, we take after our mom, and our mom has just like the most embarrassing public behavior.
Well, she can't. We're like we get it from our mom.
We get it from our mom.
We're like immune to embarrassment.
Yeah, we like
So
don't have
that
any
makes
shame.
for a lot of embarrassing situations for those around us.
Mm-hmm. If you have
Because
shame,
You're
like you probably hate hanging out with us.
Exactly.
I literally saw a TikTok the other day that made me laugh, and I was thinking about you, where it was like talking about how it's embarrassing. It's like it's embarrassing to need to pee all the time because it's like, are you even trying to hold it?
No, I do need to pee all the time, and I'm not gonna. Why would I try to hold it for the sake of anyone? Why?
For you.
Wait, what's the point in trying to hold it? I don't get it.
Hold your pee because it's like because you can't always get up all the time. Sometimes,
Yeah, I can.
Sometimes you're in a situation where you can't hold it. You guys, Eva's the most annoying fucking person on the planet because you'll be on a road trip and you'll be like making good time.
Oh my god, not you with the momentum.
But momentum is a thing. Momentum is a thing. Okay.
Robert backs me on the
we can
momentum
talk about
thing.
it.
It's
He said he's
weird.
coming. Chubbs is coming.
Hello, puppy.
A shout out to my friend Sahana, who was listening to this podcast and didn't know that Chubbs was Robert and thought we were talking about a weird animal. Because
Same thing.
Chubbs didn't know how to use a toaster, and that seems not human.
It doesn't. No one assumes when you say they can use a toaster that you're talking about a person. No one.
Or at least a person like over the age of like 4 years old.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
something, Yeah.
Wait, look at him.
I know, he's so cute.
Oh, I love this little
can't wait to talk about the
baby.
coyotes.
I know.
I was like literally scared when we came in the garage that there was gonna be a coyote in here.
Well, because our house is fucking infested.
Hi, Chubbs.
Hi.
Hi, Chad. Are you ready to chat? And by that, I mean get ripped to shreds.
Okay,
I'm ready to be
so
put on trial.
Should we just go and start off strong with rice checks?
Oh, don't even say his name. Don't even say his name. Travis
Okay.
severely wronged me.
Okay, Eve, why don't
Last
you
week.
tell your side?
After Young Old last week, which he conveniently waited until after, so that
Wasn't a
He put
plot
in-
or a plan. It just happened that after Young Old last week, I wanted to have a bowl of cereal.
okay, don't make yourself sound so innocent.
Well, it's not like I was like, fuck her, and then I poured
Yes, you are.
cereal.
Yes,
and
No,
just,
you may
Yes,
as
you
well
are.
have.
Okay.
Okay.
Listen.
Go ahead.
Listen. I got a box of Rice Chex to make Muddy Buddies with, which, like, I'm pretty sure everyone in the household knew. Okay? All right. Anyways,
I knew.
So they knew.
I know.
And Robert, I noticed the box was open and that some cereal had been taken. And I was like, Robert, did you have a bowl? And he was like, yes. And I was like, well, that's for my Muddy Buddies.
No more.
So we're not doing that because
Chubby
I
paws
need it
out of the box.
I need it for my Muddy Buddies. And he was like, okay, well, I did know that opening the box, I could potentially incur your wrath. So I took that risk, and I'm sorry.
and I apologize, and I did know when I had
And
it. I
I
was
was
like, I only
like-
want to have one bowl. I think there's enough, but there's also a chance Eve will get mad at me, and I'll have to
And I was
take
like,
that on the
okay,
chin.
I mean, it's just one bowl. It's fine, but this needs to stop. You know? I was like, this needs to stop.
And I agreed. I said, this will stop. This
And guess fucking what? It didn't fucking stop!
It did not stop. So after literally saying that he wouldn't take more cereal, what did he do?
Took more fucking cereal,
Well, Dana and
bitch.
Eve left the next day to visit their grandparents.
Oh
so I
my
was-
God!
I
He
was
literally
home
took
alone.
the opportunity of us
Literally of us
leaving.
going to visit our grandparents to eat more of Eve's cereal that he had already promised that he wouldn't.
And he
eat
told
anymore.
us about his sick plan of
It
if
wasn't
we
a sick
it was a sick plan.
If we got
if
back
we
too
came
early-
home early, like what he would do, and he was planning on like holding the bowl like under the table until we left the room so he could dispose of the evidence. What he did end
Or
up
did you
doing
finish eating it really fast?
was that
Yeah.
he separated the bowl and the spoon and cleaned out the milk, making sure like
He literally
no
actively-
traces could be found other than of course
Well,
the
what
missing
I figured
cereal.
is well, first of all, I had it because I'm like, wait, Eve already caught me once, so maybe I can have one small bowl of
No.
cereal and it'll just seem like
What
it's still the
logic
first
is
bowl.
And it's like
That's
for me,
such
it's
a-
like that
a
means
greedy
you're like a
man's
sick. That means
evil.
you're
That's
sick in the
sick.
head.
That's sick.
To me, it's like when you like
It
oh,
goes
this
from
first
being like
opportunity-
inconsiderate and a little greedy to being actually vicious
Cold
and
and
manipulative
calculated.
and malicious.
And I
and
will say, and then
malicious.
I had
Actively
a third bowl,
antagonistic.
and I was like, well, wait a minute. If she notices I stole the second, I may as well have a third. You know what I mean? So either I'm gonna get away with all of it or none of it. So I may as well have another bowl. And I did, as Eve said. On some level, I obviously knew it was wrong because I went to put the dishes in. I took the spoon out of the bowl and set it on the other end of the sink so that because I knew if Eve saw a bowl with the spoon in it, her
This
mind
is,
would
like,
go
literally
cereal.
insane.
So I kind of like separated the two, so it looked like they were two separate dish transactions.
All I'm saying is like if you asked me to sell you a gun and I saw this tape, I'd be like, you're not mentally fit to have a firearm.
Yeah, me too.
I'd be like, you were. If you had to pass any sort of mental health test and I saw this information,
What
I'd be like,
gun
okay,
salesman would be
also-
watching Young
Also,
Old?
I don't know.
This, in addition to the hating puppies, it's like not only do you hate
Pick a
puppies,
struggle.
but also the
Pick a
rice
struggle.
checks. You're a rice checks thief. Also, it's diabolical.
It's
Like, what you did
diabolical.
was diabolical.
Anyway, so then imagine to my
the first
surprise.
bowl, whatever. The second and the third bowl, with all of that planning around it. Also, it wasn't just dumb, like, haha, I'm just gonna take some. It was, I'm gonna take some, and here's what I'm gonna do to get away with.
Yeah.
It's like, what
Yes.
the fuck?
Yes.
Like, there's a difference.
Okay, and
Your
then-
intentions were so bad.
intentions were horrible.
Intentions were
Your intentions
so
were fucking
bad.
horrible.
I was
They
being
could
a little
not have been
sneaky.
worse.
Oh,
But
yeah.
like that's
Oh,
yeah, you
I was
did
being
it. You did it for the
sneaky.
sick thrill.
Well, no, I did it for the rice checks. The thrill was just a bonus.
You're sick. Okay, you're sick. Anyways, so I'm going to make my Buddy Buddies. I'm doing, putting in the chocolate, the peanut butter, the butter. I'm stirring it around. I'm putting it in the microwave. And then, lo and behold, I
She
open
goes
the
to get the
fucking
Chex
box, and it's like
to mix it
half
in.
empty. It's literally like half empty.
And now
And
she
I'm
has
like,
this mixture of
I
peanut
know,
butter
I
and
have all
chocolate.
this fucking chocolate. And guess what? I put the rest of it in the fridge because I was like, okay, maybe I'll heat it up later and use more rice checks. It's like, I'm not going to do that. I've decided now I'm not going to do that. So now I just have this thing of frozen chocolate sitting in the fridge. I'm going to have to clean out at some point. Maybe you should have to do that. That should be your job.
It's Robert punishment.
And
We were saying that Robert's punishment should have been that he had to learn how to use the espresso machine.
okay, anyways, I stomp downstairs. I knock on their door and I go, I am mad at Robert. And then
Dana's like,
inside,
in a minute.
Inside the room, Dana goes, why is Eva
And then
mad at
Dana
Robert
goes, why is Eve mad at you? And I just immediately go, the rice checks.
And then he comes out of the room. And goes, is this rice checks related? And I go, of course it is rice checks related. Because it's like he knew the second I said, I'm mad at Robert, he knew
Literally,
what he
Dana
had
goes,
done.
why is Eve mad? And I just gaze off in the distance. The rice checks.
The rice time.
I've been
knew what
waiting
he'd
for this
done.
moment.
He knew
all
what
day.
he'd done. He was a guilty man.
And I will say, I first confessed to only having a second bowl.
Yeah.
And I kind of, and then
he didn't even confess to the
I was
third
like, yeah, I'm
bowl.
sorry, I had a second bowl. And then after a little while, I was like, the jig is up.
It was
I
giving
have
like
three.
Ted Bundy being like, did I kill
was giving
300
Ted-
women?
It was giving Ted Bundy.
Did I kill 100 women?
Robert is the Ted Bundy of serial.
Yeah.
Famously.
So I'm a serial killer?
Ha 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 ha.
already
Okay,
made
so
that joke,
she already
I
made
know.
that joke.
Okay,
All
well,
right.
it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I know it's obvious, but I
Yeah.
made it first, so it was clearly more obvious.
But
to me.
I think this is one of those situations where it's like a he said, she said.
No.
She just happens to be saying something that's right.
No.
And he happens to be saying something
it
that's
was a
wrong.
she
But it's still like
said,
he said, she
he
said.
stole cereal.
He
said
said
he
she-
stole.
Yeah, it's a he said, she said, but everyone's kind of saying the same thing.
And
We're
is
all in
that he
agreement.
stole cereal?
I actually
He
did
stole
steal cereal. And
he did so with bad intentions.
With very bad
Not even
intentions.
just he wanted the cereal. He was like, I'm gonna get the cereal and I'm gonna get away
And I'm
with
gonna use
something.
this opportunity.
I hate when people try
yeah.
to get away with stuff. Fuck you! If you're trying to get away with something, no! No!
No.
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 Well, I didn't get
No!
away with it.
And guess
Also-
what? You will never get away with anything. If you ever do anything to me, just know I'll catch up. I'll catch you eventually. It might take 20 years, but I'll know.
But she'll know.
Don't rest.
Okay, so then Robert, like, he also had time to replace the checks if he wanted to. Could have gone across the street and gotten me a new box. That
He did have
all would have
time.
been well.
Also, Rice Checks is surprisingly niche.
No,
Because the next day I went to
no.
Ralph's and they didn't have it. I had to go to Whole Foods.
I have seen them at Ralph's and I've seen them everywhere. And
I went to
that's
Whole
not
Foods. I did get it. I ended up
excuse.
getting
But also,
a
it's like
new
they have
box
them
for
across
Eve
the street
next
at the
day.
liquor store.
Yeah.
So they
I
literally
ended
have
up getting a new box. I did replace it the next day.
Okay, yeah, but it was too little, too fucking late because
Because
now
she needed them
because
for the
I needed them with
mixture.
the current melted chocolate that I
Yeah.
had, and now it's in the fridge, and I'm not going
Well,
to
can't
use
you,
it.
yeah, why not just reuse what you have in the fridge?
He doesn't even know the work that goes into Money Buddies. Like, does he know the arm strength it
No,
takes?
he also
to,
doesn't
like,
even like Money Buddies. So.
Yeah, Money Buddies sound gross.
Yeah, you're gross.
Every ingredient,
Okay.
you're like, Robert, I already have the vinegar in a cup
It's not
along with
vinegar.
the cottage cheese. Like,
It's
she's
not
describing
vinegar.
like gross
You
ingredients.
love
like,
cottage
why
cheese
would you combine them?
mixtures. You claim to love cottage
Yeah,
cheese
you
mixtures.
claim that warm dairy.
Robert, you ate the Rice Checks, and I already had the Muddy Buddy ingredients, which is grapefruit juice and stranger's spit. What am I gonna do? It's like, phew, why don't you
It's
just have a bowl of
chocolate. I just want to make
cereal?
it clear the
It's
ingredients are chocolate and
butter,
peanut butter.
and powdered sugar and vanilla, and it's delicious.
Like,
It's literally so good.
Yeah.
anyways, it's just like I can't even think about the other things that you probably have gotten away with. Also, I know you've been fucking taking my spin drifts.
Oh yeah, she was gonna confront you about that.
I actually haven't been taking the spin drifts. That's your
Really?
mom. And I'm not even trying to frame them. I did have a couple of your
Listen,
LaCroix.
I will say
I had
this.
your LaCroix, but I did not touch the spin drifts.
I will
haven't
say
had
this.
any.
I will say this. I could have been drinking them and just not remembering that I was drinking them.
In this case, but that's also it. It's like now I've opened up to myself about every paranoid thought. Eve will see a bug and be like, Chubbs planted the bug!
Okay, there was a massive bug in my bathroom, and I smashed it with an Aquaforce container, but I was way too scared to lift it back up and clean up the bug.
I did it.
And Dana did, and she's braver than the troops. I did ask Chubbs to do it, and I think it's very, like,
Telling.
lame of you that you made her do it instead of you.
I mean, I just didn't want to deal with the bug, you know?
Chubbs is
And that's, like, so...
You know what? I wanted to eat cereal and not deal with bugs.
He wants to steal cereal and not clean up bugs. And he spilled juice in the hallway
I will say
that he didn't clean up.
I quote the Little Red Hen story to Chubbs all the time because that's always how he makes me feel. So for those of you at home,
You
who
guys
don't
always
know,
make me feel like the little,
Little
red
Red
hen.
Hen. So for those of you that don't know, the Little Red Hen is a story of so this Little Red Hen, she wanted to bake a loaf of bread, but she wanted help making the bread. So she went to everyone in her little village. She went to the duck, and she's like, "Do you want to help me make bread?" The duck's like, "No." She goes to the lamb. She's like, "You want me to help me make bread?" He's like, "No." She goes
Or
to
she asks them
the
every step of the
dinosaur.
way. Like, who
Yeah,
wants to help me mill the grain?
Mill the grain.
Who wants
right.
to help me
Add the water?
Yeah,
Who wants to help me knead
fold
the dough?
And no, but
Everyone's
everyone's
like,
says
no. Everyone's like,
the
no.
second the bread is made,
Everyone smells the bread. And
she
they're
goes,
like,
"Who wants to
"Try
help
some
me
bread."
eat the bread?" And
Everyone wants to help her
Me.
eat the
Me,
bread.
bitch.
And that is Chubbs.
And that's
That
also
is
you.
Chubbs.
It's so,
And
like,
sometimes-
literally, Dana will throw that out at me. It's like, it's so weird to have, like, a children's story, like, hurled at you as a
children's
vicious insult.
stories
Because
have good
yeah, they
values.
really do. Also, I feel like I'm a good person because of all the children's stories I've read.
Also, Alice and Greta.
Alice and Greta, oh my god.
Alice and Greta's a book we read as children. It's about these, like, two witches.
Who live they live on the same mountain, and they have the same, like, view, but they have really different outlooks of themselves and their lives. And so Greta is, like, really dark, and, like, she views the world in a very cynical way, and Alice is really positive. Yeah. And we were saying that me and Eve are Alice and Greta. Obviously, I'm Greta.
And I'm Alice. Because she's always, like, toiling in her own.
But I'm always toiling, and Eve's, like, happy.
Yeah, and I'm, like...
I, of course, read The Hungry Little Hedgehog as a kid, which is about a hedgehog who's very hungry from doing nice little things, and then he
Wait, sorry, he's hungry from doing nice little things. What does that mean?
I think The Hungry Hedgehog is a real book.
Is that real?
I think so.
But he's clearly not telling the story.
No,
even if it is,
he does nice little things.
That's not what this is.
And then he's hungry, and then he realizes that his buddies, the toucan and the vulture, have some acorns laying around. And the hedgehog says, "I'll just have a couple acorns. After all, we're all friends." And then he eats them. And then the toucan and the vulture come in and they say, "Haven't you ever read the Little Red Hen, you idiot?" And they mock the hedgehog. And I never understood that story until now.
Isn't the victim in that story?
I wasn't even listening. What was
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But my point is there a victim in the story? No, it's just like, oh, some cereal was eaten. Who knows from whence it was?
We all know.
You have bad values and bad man.
You have bad, but also it's like you do know the difference between right and wrong.
Because
you choose to do wrong.
Yeah. Also, like the whole time I was like, I knew I was getting away with
you
something,
knew
or at
that
least
you were doing something
to.
wrong, and you knew. And the second I said I'm mad at Chubbs, he knew exactly what the fuck he was in for. He knew what he'd done.
It all came crashing down.
He knew what he'd done.
I mean, I did plan, like, what if they come home early? I'll just hide it. I'll just hide the bowl underneath the table while they walk through, and then I'll quickly dispose of the evidence. When I put
like, that's psycho.
It's sociopath.
Like, that's fucking psycho.
It was a
literally
plan.
So.
That's
the fact that he was gonna
logical.
hold it under the kitchen table when we walked in and be like,
and he was like,
"Hi
planning.
guys, how was your grandparents?" While he fucking hides the fucking cereal.
Can you imagine if you two had caught me holding a bowl of cereal under the table? Well, that would have been wild.
Okay, comment if you think that he should go to jail.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, look, I plead guilty. I plead guilty.
Yeah, but you have no remorse. You're like Anna Delvey right now. You're literally going, "I did nothing wrong," or whatever.
I am a good boss.
Yeah.
I ate the cereal.
Yeah.
You're boring. You're being dramatic.
You're so dramatic.
So I ate all your cereal and you'll stop.
My father will wire you the cereal.
Why are you this? Does your tummy take wire transfers on cereal?
I have not seen Anna Delvey, but I do. That is what you are like. So
yeah. We actually just gave you a. You've seen it.
I've
if you've
seen
seen
it.
our
That's
little
what
impression, you've seen
now.
it.
Well,
I will
Julia
via you the cereal. I can't do it at all.
Well,
I'm sorry, everyone. You know how I am with accents.
It's alright.
It's okay, Dana.
It's okay.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway, okay, what are we talking about? The coyotes?
Oh yeah. Okay, so our neighbor, yes, the same one we had a feud with, but it was nice of her to send us this video.
I like how you have to preface it that way.
Send us a video of our, because like part of her yard you can see into our yard, and she was filming like these 3 coyotes like just circling the front, like right outside our front
Having
door.
like a little coyote
Like
social.
running around and like
like-
trying to find.
they were, like-
They're looking for ways to get in.
Are they casing the joint?
I think so.
Are they casing the joint?
Well, I think they're trying to find a way to get in to eat, bite, or snack.
Oh, anyways, and so Biter's always like howling at night, and we're like, what is he doing? Now we're kind of thinking he's egging on the coyotes.
Yeah.
He's yelling
doing
at
his
them.
little rich boy, I'm in the house routine.
He's doing I'm a little rich boy in the house.
But it's
and
like,
you guys
I
are
bet you're
outside."
hungry for me, but you can't get me. Because I'm inside and you're in the cold. The coyotes are like, we weren't even gonna eat you, but you're talking all this shit.
Yeah, now we're coming for
Now
you,
we're
bitch.
coming.
And then it was one coyote, and then that coyote came back with friends.
Yeah.
Two best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Biter, you talk a big game, but
But
you cannot
Biter's like,
protect
you're gonna
yourself.
eat me? You in what army?
Yeah,
And then the coyote's
coyote
like,
brought back army. But it is actually, it was very scary to see
It's so
3
terrifying,
coyotes
because it's like-
running around in our front yard.
It's literally
That's
like,
insane.
where did you guys come from?
Yeah.
Like,
and the answer is they lived here before us.
I know, but it's
Dana
just
keeps
like,
saying that.
I wish
They did.
So what's the deal? They don't have food like up in their environment, so they
Yeah,
have
I
to
think
come
like
here.
climate change and like.
I mean, that does suck for them, obviously. I wish that they had food in their own natural habitat so they didn't have to come down in the neighborhood, but it's just like really
I
concerning.
like how we're like tiptoeing around as if we're gonna offend like coyotes.
Right, of course.
It's like, of course we know coyotes go through a lot and they have really
well, I
hard
know
lives.
it's not their fault that they're hungry little animals.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
that
we're not
that's...
gonna like vilify animals.
But-
A lot of coyotes don't have access to quality education.
A lot of coyotes
They
don't have access to
don't.
quality education, but
I'm literally just wondering.
It just
if,
is
like,
terrifying
Coyotes don't have food
because-
because fucking like of organic grocery stores in LA. Like maybe they're like going around and like taking what food they would eat.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. Like they're picking all the plants that the coyotes
like,
would
what
eat.
if,
I don't know
all
about
the
that.
coyote food is in Erewhon smoothies now?
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
what if? Yeah, what if?
I'm just postulating.
Well, I guess we could put out some smoothies for them so they don't eat biter.
Yeah, we could do
Why
that.
don't you make them a
Yeah, I'm
smoothie?
gonna go blend up like 8 smoothies and then position them around the house.
You guys, one time a coyote took a shit on our deck, and we know it's a coyote or we don't know it's a coyote because it could have
We
been
assume
It
it's
was a
coyote. It
coyote.
could have been Robert.
Robert. It could have been Robert.
Playing one of my little tricks.
My boyfriend did clean up the shit
So he
when
might
he came
have
over.
taken it.
So it's either coyote or like a bold power play on my part.
Yeah, no, but then we were saying like Robert shit and was like, I'm gonna see you clean it
Yeah,
up.
he's gonna see you
Clean it up.
And then he's watching my boyfriend like take the shit.
And he's
to
like,
the
I'm
trash
like,
can,
yeah,
and he's
clean
like,
it.
Yeah,
Clean up
that's
my
right.
poop.
Ultimately, it was a coyote, we think.
I think
It was a coyote.
But it's like so
Or-
disrespectful of them to do that.
Yeah, it is.
Anyways.
It's rude. I mean,
Also, it's like they shit where they eat, you know?
So true.
Yeah, they shit
I
where
mean,
they-
hopefully that they don't eat here.
Yeah.
So,
Hopefully the shit makes them not eat here.
So
Yeah.
true.
But oh yeah, so before this though, Daniel like was leaving Biter outside, and I was getting like
well, Dana would absentmindedly leave Biter outside.
Well, I go outside to
Not
smoke
me, by the
weed,
way.
you know?
Dana.
Me.
Not
It's
me.
It's me.
Not Hermione.
I go outside. Not Hermione.
Yay,
You.
Dana. But yeah, Dana would accidentally leave a Biter outside, and then Eve would get mad.
yeah, because he could be eaten. And now that you've seen the video and you know the dangers.
Yeah, I know the danger.
But we don't know that the coyotes aren't CG. Their neighbor
You
is.
think- you
their
think-
neighbor's pretty sneaky.
Yeah, that's
Their neighbor
true.
could just get in like Final Draft or whatever and like put some effects in there.
Final Cut.
Final
Draft is
Cut,
the screen
whatever.
writing software.
Well, shows what I know.
I'm trying to. You can't try to make it in this business like that.
Yeah.
I'm just burped.
Brutal.
It's like stop practicing your swimming kick, you know?
Dana's kicking.
What if I need to swim?
No, you don't need to swim.
I remember once I had an uncle who I still have him. He's like a very nice uncle, but like he would do this thing where like whenever we were at the pool, he would like grab me and then he would launch me.
I don't like
And then he
that.
would come and he would grab me again and he would launch me again. And then whenever I seemed flustered, he'd be like, "Come on, I thought you could swim." And in my head, I'm like, "Dude, I can swim. You're just repeatedly launching me
Yeah,
around.
that's so
nice.
It's not a swim thing."
My
so
mom
nice.
always said that you can't like mess with people in the water. She's like, you can't hold anyone down. You can't like throw
Well, yeah,
anyone
that's
in.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom was always like, "Mess with people in the water. Hold them down.
Hold 'em down.
Have some fun."
She was always having you
Yeah.
fight against your sisters.
There's always like some sort of
Huh?
there's always a storyline in like shows and stuff where like we were just kids.
Yeah.
We didn't know. We were just playing around and holding him down under the water.
All 12 of us were just playing around.
We didn't know
I'm
he was
holding this
gonna
one
drown.
guy.
We didn't know he was gonna drown.
It was just a game.
It was just a game. We were just
The make him stop breathing game.
doing the hold him under the water game, and he died.
Everyone's
we
like,
were just playing the hold him underwater until he turns purple game.
He couldn't take a joke. He couldn't take a joke.
everyone's like, it was just a regular childhood game of knife pool. Where all the big kids brought knives into the pool and stabbed this one toddler.
And they acted it's like everyone was just messing around, and then he started dying.
I do like
I love when they go, we were just kids.
We were just
And then they describe
kids.
the most gruesome, violent act you've
We
ever
were
heard.
just kids.
Well, that's CW just assumes that like every single character has accidentally murdered someone. That's every
That
single
is.
character has accidentally murdered someone in different ways.
And
Yeah.
That's definitely a way to give backstory and dimension to a character.
It's like that they were a child murderer.
You thought, yeah, you
As
thought
a
I was
child. They
boring.
murdered child
I'm
as a
also
child.
a murderer.
Like
Yeah.
I love when there's like a 15-year-old who's always like, they don't know what I'm capable of. Like no one knows the real me, and it's like that they killed someone.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, the real me is always that they're a murderer. It's never like that they're just like really good at quilting. Oh, one time when I went to the pool, I remember this. This is true. My mom used to take us to like the public pool or whatever, and in the car, I was really into eating lemons for some reason, so I just cut open a lemon with a knife and I eat a lemon. But in the car,
It's a weird kid trait.
I know
we
it's
know
a Julia
another. We know
Rubinoff.
another.
We know.
girl, yeah.
Hi, Julia.
but so I'm in the
She's
back
She's
seat,
famously weird
and I
kid.
cut
Yeah.
open a lemon,
We
but
love
then I
you.
accidentally cut my arm.
Oh my god, did it get the
Oh.
lemon
I
juice
still have
in
a tiny
there?
scar.
Oh my
If you can
god.
kinda see it there.
Yeah.
Tiny scar.
I don't really see it.
Yeah, it's
but-
kind of faded. This is when I was a child, and I cut my arm open, and I'm bleeding. And my mom goes, "Wait a minute, you don't have lemon in the car, do you?" And I was like, "No lemon." And so I couldn't fess up to having cut my arm because I didn't want to
That's so
fess up to
Robert.
the lemon.
That's so
So at
Robert.
the pool,
He
I
just
couldn't.
bleeds out.
At the pool, I couldn't get into the water because I'm like, I'm bleeding. So I just had to sit with my mom on the side, and the whole time she's like, "Why are you in the water?" And I was like, "Just don't want to." just for an hour and a half. And
That's
I
like
sat
so
next to my
Robert.
mom holding a towel to my bleeding arm. And she's like, "Are you gonna get in?"
Why
I
are
was
you
like,
so
"No."
afraid of like basic confrontation? Like, why does that make you so?
You'd rather die than
You'd
not
rather
try
die
to get
than
away
not-
with something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't always succeed in
You
getting
literally
away,
are that person
but-
who's choking, and I'm like, do you need me to get someone to do the Heimlich? And you're like,
Oh, like in I think you
Yeah.
should.
But
That's
I
so
also-
funny.
That's
That's
literally-
literally.
I also did that though.
I know.
I was touring an apartment, my first apartment in LA, with like my
Of course you
first
did
roommate, and
this.
she's showing us the apartment, and I have a big thing with ice, and I accidentally swallow an ice cube and it gets stuck in my throat. And in my head, I'm like, okay, I don't want to make a scene, but the ice will melt.
okay,
So I'm like,
that's-
I just waited for the ice to melt
the
in my
words
throat.
I
so
don't
that
want to
could
make a scene have never
fall
entered
going
my
out.
head.
Oh, I've never thought I don't want to make a scene.
I'm literally sitting there, I was like, with the ice cube slowly melting, just trying to like race the clock.
Wow.
Hopefully it melts before I pass out.
Hopefully it melts before
And
you
it did.
pass. And it did.
So who's weird?
You.
Not this guy.
Still you.
Probably.
Definitely you.
That's
Yeah.
literally crazy.
Yeah, even Dana don't hesitate to simply make
I
the
could
scene.
never, like, I'll literally get a cut on my finger and I'll be like,
Same.
you know,
Same.
I make a scene.
Eve makes a scene.
I'm
Oh, we're gonna
always,
talk about the fact
if
that
I'm hurt, it's a level 10 pain.
It's a level.
But
it's
my mom
always
also,
level 10.
told us to say that. She said if you're ever at the hospital and they ask you on a scale of 1 to 10 how much does it hurt, always say 10. one time, I had stomach pain and I went to the ER and they go, how bad does it hurt? And I go 10. And the lady just looks at me like this. She goes, 10? I go, yeah. And she's like, okay. And then she's like, can you wait out there? And it'll be like 20 minutes.
That's so funny. I do like also how you two took that very specific piece of hospital advice and applied it to every facet of your lives.
Yeah.
No matter what the inconvenience is,
It's always
it's a
better.
10.
It's
a
always
10.
better to over exaggerate than to die before the ice melts.
So true.
That's true.
So-
Look, yeah, it's hard for me to.
So
Defend yourself.
I'd rather
People
have.
who choke in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
Yeah.
So true.
So true.
Or something.
Something
Something
like
else.
that.
Did we
Something
have
like
anything
that.
else?
Yes, we
wanted to
did.
discuss?
Did you already talk about like we're Dana has a big show on Friday, so like 20 minutes before.
Oh, the
we
lamb
go to
chop,
like
lamb
the
chop.
goal is like just we go to this place before,
Yeah.
just to have like a quick drink before Dana's show. So it's about to start in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And the waiter's like, "All right, do you guys want any more drinks?" And he goes, "Yeah. Can you tell me about the rack of
the
lamb?
lamb.
The
Can
rack
you tell
of
me
lamb.
about the rack of lamb?
We have to
And
be
we have
somewhere
literally
else
to
in
be
20 minutes. And it's like, no. I mean, as I
We
said,
don't
it's
have
like
time for rack of
unless
lamb.
the waiter's answer is, yeah, we microwave it. Unless the waiter's, we literally put it in the microwave. There's no way you can get a rack of lamb. But he's just genuinely like, yeah, talk
So like,
to
tell me about the rack of lamb.
Okay, first of all, it was a skewer. It's literally just a skewer that they put lamb on.
Yes.
And yes, it maybe would have taken a little long. I did get something else that was quicker. But it's just like I have a mental illness where like if I sit down somewhere and
needs to
they
order rack
have
of lamb.
lamb, like I'm gonna order it.
Yeah.
And like I don't care if there's like one, like it's like you have 1 second to live. I'd be like, can I
Eve's the
get
kind
some
that
lamb?
person where like we'll be on our way out the door and she'll be like, okay, sorry, 1 second. Do you guys have rack of lamb here?
Eve is literally the kind of person where I just like know. Okay, I can just picture me and Eve in like the state of a family emergency, and we're like trying to like go to a hospital or something, and Eve is being too particular about the kind of food that she gets before we go. Like that's like Eve's whole vibe is that like when there's a crisis, she's gonna need to get the kind of food that she wants on the way to the crisis.
Listen, food is literally my top priority always. Always.
Also,
Okay.
later that evening, we're about
Eve
to
will never
drop
just like eat a
Eve.
granola bar.
We're about
Like,
to
you can't
drop
just, like-
Eve and her boyfriend off
Yeah.
at his
Oh
apartment.
my
But then Eve
God.
goes, I want one of those hot dog stand hot dogs. And it's like 10:40 p.m. We're not really near any of them. We're like, I don't think
Yeah,
there
we
are any.
were. They're all by
And
his
she's
place.
like, no, I want one. I want one now. And I'm like, okay, but I don't even know where one
Yes,
is.
we
We just
drove-
drove around to Hollywood and Highland until we spotted one and then
Guess
dropped her
what?
off.
Guess what? They
No
dropped
one was
us off.
enthusiastic
They
about
dropped
it.
us off. I got the hot dog. I ate it on the way when we walked to his apartment, and it was fucking delicious, and it was worth it.
Eve will be surrounded by just the most bitterly frustrated, annoyed,
She
angry
doesn't
people,
care.
and as long as she's got her food
Yeah,
in the
she
middle of it,
doesn't
she
give a
doesn't
shit.
even perceive
Yeah.
it.
Well, because I'm always like, it was worth it. And you know what? Maybe that's how you felt with the rice tracks, but
And maybe
At least
we
I was-
understand
at
each
least you were
other.
I was not
transparent
being
the whole way.
dishonest
Yeah, you were
with
never
it.
being deceptive.
I was never being dishonest.
I would try to formulate some elaborate lie to get me near the
Yeah,
hot
no,
dog.
Robert is that kind of
You
person.
would.
He always has an agenda, and then he never wants to admit what his agenda is.
Yeah,
which
I'll
is
say
so
my agenda.
annoying.
My agenda is hot
Right,
dog.
just be
Yeah.
straight up.
And I'd be
Yeah.
like, you know, you guys really need to see Hollywood and Highland. They built a brand new store, a brand new Brandy Melville, I think
Yeah.
you'd like. And then we'd get there, you're like, there's no
Where's
Brandy
Brandy
Melville.
Melville?
And you'd
I'm
be like, well, while we're here,
Well,
we'll get a hot dog.
That's Robert's
Yeah.
one.
good.
Anyways, I love those hot dog stands. They're
good.
great. I got a hot dog. It was literally worth it. It was close to his apartment, so.
I mean, yeah. No
I mean,
apologies, but it
no,
was just
also
like...
it was no sweat off your back for us to drive you to the
it
hot
wasn't.
dog.
Yeah.
Except I did.
Yeah, it's
lose
like you
my
got
vape.
everything you
I have your
wanted.
vape.
I
in my
lost. I thought I
purse.
lost my vape because I dropped it in the car, and I thought that there was like a curse upon the Comedy Store, because
the last time you were
last
there,
time I
something.
left my water bottle there, but this time, and I thought I left my vape, and I thought there was a curse, but.
Yeah, imagine
okay.
thinking the most cursed thing about the Comedy Store is like sometimes you lose a vape there.
Or Love is Blind.
Oh, hilarious.
So, you guys watched it like when it came out or what?
Oh, no, we watched it a
ago.
couple weeks ago, or like a week ago probably.
I
not
just
even that
watched
long
it
ago.
yesterday.
Reality show on Netflix.
Did you watch all of it?
We watched the whole second season, except I didn't see like the first 3 episodes. He watched it before I got there.
Oh, so you missed like the whole
You
setup.
missed the whole setup.
The whole part where it's
Yes.
blind.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
missed the blind part. I only saw like when they
You were
dating
just like,
each
why
other.
did
Saw the
why
lovers.
do these people see and be weird? It's just
Yeah.
people
Well,
seeing
no, but
and being weird.
I've seen parts of I've seen the first season a little bit, so I knew what
The
they do.
concept.
I knew like what they do. Yeah. Anyways,
Basically, this season was full of fucking sociopaths, in my sociopath.
Yeah.
But
in
you've got
my
to be a
opinion,
sociopath to
be
go
the
on
show.
in the first
did you guys see
place.
their reunion? One?
I've seen the clips.
I've seen the clips on
I know
TikTok.
the
Okay, we
highlights.
watched the
Yeah,
reunion
yeah.
too. I mean, it's fucking everything's insane. Like,
Yeah.
Well, also the whole premise of the show is like they don't see each other. They're just in pods. They don't see each other.
But we were
until
talking about how much it's not just how someone like literally looks, it's everything about them. Like it's
so much communication is
so much
nonverbal.
communication is nonverbal, so it's like it's not there are guys on the show who I'm like, you actually can't tell how sociopathic he is because she can't see the way he's like the expressions that he's making in reaction to her, the things that he's doing. Like, I mean,
Well,
Shane
'cause
was
what-
always like punching the air and shit.
And, like, going like,
and like going like, oh, but I'm like, you actually can't see that through the wall. Like, I'm like, I don't even know if you're not the kind of person who like has those kind of mannerisms, you're not picturing someone having that kind of mannerism.
That's
Like,
true.
you're just like, oh, he's like, oh.
Well, also sometimes the guys will be like, what the girl will hear is, haha, that's so funny.
Yeah.
But what you see him doing is, haha, that's so funny. It's like, oh, that's
Yeah.
a sociopath.
Right, and you like
have
can't
no
detect
idea.
it because you can't see their face and you can't detect the nuances. And then it was the kind of thing where, like, when she did meet the guy in person,
Yeah.
she was like, "Oh, he's creepy."
He's creepy and weird.
Yeah.
And it's
wait,
like,
who said that about Shane?
this was Shane. I mean, this might have been. Oh, this was like
No,
a couple. It was,
it
I
was-
think, Mallory.
No, it was Mallory and
Jarrett.
No, Jarrett liked the girl he saw.
No,
Mallory and Shayna.
he had like brown hair and he was like really
Sal?
sociopathic. No,
I think it was
Mike.
Mallory. I think you're describing
Mike.
Mallory and the guy she's.
yeah,
was
Mallory
with.
and the
Sal.
guy.
That's
that
what
she's
we're
with.
saying.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, she didn't like him
Sal.
at first, but
Sal.
then she liked him, and then he was the one who said no.
Well, because she clearly didn't like him.
She didn't like it.
Because
yeah.
did you see that? Did you see her and Jarrett, a guy who proposed to her, like
They were hitting it off.
They were hitting up, but they all got together after all the couples got together, and she's talking to a guy who she didn't couple up with.
Who
and,
proposed to her.
and she's just talking about, like,
she said
yeah,
no
the
to.
guy I'm with, like, now, it's like, he doesn't even care about, he got me the wrong ring, he doesn't even care about, like, going to the game, and I love watching games, and he doesn't care,
that
and, like,
was weird.
the guy's, like, crying, it's like, yeah, clearly she fucking hates me.
Yeah.
And she does.
And she does.
The whole premise of the show is, like, yeah, love should not be blind.
Love is not
Yeah.
blind.
Love
It just
isn't blind.
It doesn't exist in a
What's
vacuum.
funny to me, like the reunion episode, they were like, and 2 couples got married, so that proves that love really is blind. And I'm like, does that prove it?
Well, also someone
that
made a
prove
joke
it?
about this, but they were like, "Can't you just get a blind person?"
Lol,
They're
you
like-
could
they're
literally
like,
just
you
get
could
blind
literally just get a
people.
blind person. Oh, Emily Catalano's joke, actually. Yeah, it was Emily Catalano's joke where she was like, what is it? Yeah, like, why can't you just ask one blind person, hey, have you ever felt love?
That's so funny.
But also there was one guy, Shake, who, like, everyone hates online.
Okay, Shake literally makes me.
But it's like
myself,
in the first pod, you missed this. He's talking to someone. And he's like, "Oh my god, you like music?" She's like, "Yeah, I like
Oh,
music."
no,
He's
I
like,
did see
"You like
this.
going to music festivals?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You like getting on a guy's shoulder?" She's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Would I struggle to hold you on my shoulders?"
that
And
was
it's
his,
like,
like,
"Oh, you're
little
just
test
asking
to
if
see if
she's
she was
Well,
fat."
they on the reunion episode, Vanessa, the host, was like, I think you're on the wrong show. Like, you clearly do care
About looks.
about what somebody looks like, and so this show is not for you. And he's like, no, like, I want it to be partially blind. How about Love is Blurry?
Oh
And
my
then
god,
they're
that's
like-
so funny.
And then they're like, okay, fine, then make Love is. She goes, then make Love is Blurry.
Yeah, then you do your own show.
She goes,
called
do it,
Love is
spin off
Blurry.
Love is Blurry. And then he's
I'd watch
talking
Love is
about.
Blurry.
I don't
He's
Love is
talking
Blurry.
about.
It's kinda
He's like
interesting.
all these hosted by Shade.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like.
That's awful.
He's like, all you women are so beautiful, but I'm not attracted to all of you. Actually, the only one I'm attracted to is Vanessa. And Vanessa's like, I've been yelling at you this whole time. This is the anyway. It's just funny because like while she's telling him he's a terrible person and that he sucks, he's like, oh yeah, actually she's the only one that I'm attracted to. And he's obsessed with being like animalistic attraction, the primal.
Oh, every time a guy starts talking about primal animalistic, I'm like, oh, he's lost.
Literally, he's like, I'm just missing that primal instinct.
It's like, dude, you're a veterinarian.
Attraction.
Maybe he wants to. Maybe he like sees the animals fucking, and he's like, that's what I want.
I think he does.
No, literally, that's probably what he's comparing.
No, but then that's also something they said in the reunion is like, well, good thing you treat animals because you clearly can't treat humans.
And he's like, yeah, and I fuck animals too.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, and I fuck them too.
I fuck them. And then he gets
and I can carry most of them on my shoulders.
I love when people say shit like this. He's like, I'm just saying what everyone's thinking.
Yeah. It's never something anyone's thinking.
And everyone's like, no one was thinking.
We weren't thinking that.
No one was
also,
thinking
the girl he was with was hot. Like, she was hot.
Yeah, but he said that she reminded him of his aunt. I think that
he is being really racist. I think that he had they both had a lot of internalized racism. Yeah.
But
I think his was a lot.
He could only see her as like a family member because.
Also, they didn't even look alike at all.
No,
like they literally did not look alike.
Well, I mean, I will say
she didn't even really look that Indian to me.
I mean, I think she did, but like that's not.
Well, like I will say that's a real thing of like someone reminding you of like your grandma, so you can't like. That's why I like have struggled so much fucking 95-year-olds. I'm just like, sorry. I mean, I do it because I don't want to be problematic, but I'm
right because he doesn't want to be problematic.
He's 95-year-olds.
Problematic.
Hashtag problematic.
Have sex with 95-year-olds.
Yeah. Obviously, everyone who goes on the show is insane to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, that's key.
Yeah.
To agree to go on that show, you have to be insane.
You have to be insane.
To agree to go on like Love Island or like Too Hot to Handle, it's like that's normal. It's really normal to want to be on that.
To be young and hot, and want to go
be young and hot on a TV show for followers. I'm like, that's literally the most normal thing you could fucking do.
That's fine.
I'm like, Love is Blind is crazy. That is a psychopath.
Well, also you learn because like, all right, there's a reason all of them have been kind of rejected from the dating pool, so they have to, and like you just discover what each person's reason is.
Yeah.
And everyone's got some weird tick where you're like, that's why you're here.
Yeah. And every time I'd see Shane, I'd be like, that guy's on drugs, and then I googled, I was like, Love is Blind Shane, and it was like drugs immediately, and I was like,
seems like coked out of his mind.
Yeah. And I was like, this dude's
he gets like really angry.
He also, this was like they kept like. They included the show, but it's almost blown past. But like sometimes he would like be joking around with the girl he matched with, and like it seemed good. And then he'd be like, "Oh yeah, what? Do you think I'm good looking?" And she goes, "Oh, what? Are you fishing for compliments?" And he's like, "Hey, don't say that."
He could not take a joke. Yeah. She was like very like sarcastic girl. Which, like, I guess that can be annoying, but if that annoys you, then you shouldn't be with her.
But they'd be joking around, and she'd be like, oh, what? You just want me to tell you how big and strong you are? And he's like, hey, yeah, I'm trying to have a nice time,
like,
and then suddenly you don't tell me how big and strong I am.
He didn't feel like enough, like, real words of affirmation from her, which, like, if you need that, that's not the person.
Then that's not the person for you.
Because she was very, like, oh my god, stop, I hate you. Like, vibes, you know?
Well, like falling all over him and doting him.
Yeah,
I mean,
just had a different
Shane's
vibe.
sick. I mean, Shane needs. Yeah, Shane's
a sick man.
Sick weirdo.
He's a sick man.
That's almost weirder to me. I got to be honest than Shake, who's just like, yeah, I'm really shallow and I don't want to fuck you. Then Shane, who like has these crazy thoughts, but he's pretending to just be like, yeah, I'm just a nice, cool guy. Right. Don't be mean to me.
I agree. At least Shake is
what was lurking under the surface for Shane was so sinister. Honestly.
Where Shake was just sinister.
Yeah.
Shake was kind of out front being a douche, where like Shane would have these moments where I'm like, you like want like someone to just be around you and just like fawn over you all day.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I want.
And that's what you get. You're a queen.
Okay, sometimes when Nick and Danielle were fighting, I would to Chase. I was like, "This is Dana and Ryan."
Wait. Who were Nick and Danielle?
Danielle was the person
they
who
got
lost
married.
a lot
They
of
got
weight.
married.
They wound up getting
married.
married.
Oh yeah.
But when he came back from the first couples party, she had food poisoning.
Oh, that's no, oh my god, we literally talked about that.
She would just like at the most random time, like just like completely random. She would also be like, "You know, I'm not actually like this, right? Like I'm not like crazy. I'm not really. I won't be like this. Like once we leave." And then obviously she's still like that.
Well, yes. For context, Danielle got food poisoning, so she couldn't go to the big couples party, and so just Nick went without her. Says all nice things about her, and then comes back and she goes, "So what? You were just having a fun time without me?" And he's like, "You were sick."
He was like, "I said I didn't have to go," and
she's like, "But you went," and I was crying in here in the closet.
Like, alone for 3 hours, and I was like, "Bitch, you can't be alone for 3 hours. Watch a movie."
Yeah, watch a movie.
Like you couldn't be. I thought you were sick. take a load off for 3 hours.
And then and then she was.
Anyways, I was like, absolutely.
But also it was funny because they cut the argument. They're having this big argument, and you can tell like the camera people are just told to leave because then it cuts to the next day, and Nick and Danielle are just walking along the beach, happy.
Well,
And it's like,
they also like they would argue and then like be fine, and then argue and be fine.
That's a lot of people's style.
That's what that is.
me and
It's how they
Robert's
work
style.
things out.
Yeah.
But-
It's
well,
actually
also
called
they-
your bounce back time.
They said in the reunion that they're in couple therapy now.
Oh. Well,
Okay.
Robert won't go to couples therapy with me.
Okay. Anyways, basically everyone in Love is Blind is like insane. I guess Jarrett and Ayana maybe be fine. I guess they're like fine, it's whatever. But
Who knows? Well,
I don't think
check
Jared
over
just
here.
clearly was hung up on Mallory.
he was.
Because even after he proposed to Ayana,
he was like,
he went to the
Yeah.
couples party and just
Yeah.
immediately beeline for Mallory.
right.
So it's like,
And then they were talking, and she's like, oh yeah, well he blah blah blah, and he's like, I would have done that.
I would have treated you
done
right.
that.
I know what
would've
you
done
need. It's like,
It was so awkward in the reunion when they were watching the clips back, like in front of everybody. It's like, oh.
I mean, I bet the other guys were really just happy that Shake was there to kind of take the heat off him.
That's so true.
Because Shake
everyone
was so
hating on
obviously the
him.
villain
yeah.
that like all those like little moments of them being crazy were kind
Like
of just
overshadowed,
swept under the
overlooked.
rug.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shayna is also a fucking psychopath. Like
She's like so religious and so Trumpy.
well, it's not even that. It's the fact that she's like waits until fucking what's his face proposes to Natalie, and then is like, by the way,
I still like you.
Oh my god, yeah.
no, accepts the proposal from Mike or
Yeah,
whatever, and then is like, by the way, I love you.
Yeah.
They watched that, and then Natalie was like, what the fuck is that?
I will
I'm
say
like,
Shayna
yeah.
had my favorite moment on the show, which is like she didn't like the guy she was engaged with, and she goes, "Hey, how about we sleep in separate bedrooms tonight?"
And then
Wouldn't
she
that
just
be fun?"
leaves.
And then
And then she
went
just
home.
fucking leaves.
And I'm
I
like,
thought that was funny.
respect. That's funny.
And then it was weird though, because after she left, he was like, well, yeah, I'm still gonna try and make it work with her, and I was like, wait, really?
What?
That's crazy.
You're gonna
I'm
fail.
Like,
Really?
Like, babe, you're on a reality TV show and she's at home.
Yeah,
she's at
she
home.
left.
You're on
gonna
different shows.
You think you're
She's
still
not on
gonna
the
get
show
married?
anymore.
He goes, well, yeah, when we get married, we're gonna have to, and I'm like, when? She
Also,
left.
I maintain like Shayna is like very, very deeply Christian religious, and he is he's like very atheist, and they
Right.
clash in the pods, and it's like, I'm kind of like, oh, the only reason you're still on board is because Shayna's hot.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, for some reason I just feel like we can make it work, and it's like she's hot.
Yeah, you just think she's
You
hot.
don't think you can make it work. You
Yeah.
just see like a hot blonde lady.
Yeah.
And that is, and she broke up with him because of the religion thing, and was like, "This is a core difference." That
And
we
honestly,
can't
fair and
pass."
true.
And that's true. I
That's
think that
correct.
maybe some people can do it, but I think it makes sense that would be a really big rift.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it's
Between
really
you.
hard because
It's hard.
Because Robert's really
Because Robert loves to worship the poopy gods.
Yes, he's in his poopy gods.
And Dana is
I-
atheist.
And
I
I say-
literally don't believe there's a higher poopy power.
She does not believe in a
I say, Dana, I'm sorry, accept this. I'm gonna have to poop every day or two. And Dana's like, well, I never poop, and I never will.
and she
I'm like-
That's a
refuses
core
to
difference.
poop.
And I'm
my
like,
God.
you never will? And I'm like, no need. Convert it into energy. And that's what we clash about. I'm sorry, Eve, to drag you in the middle of this. And this is why I refuse to go to couples therapy. Because Dana won't admit that she needs to poop.
Dana won't.
All right,
She
well,
won't admit
I think
it.
we're done with the
Yeah.
podcast. Everyone say bye.
Thanks for watching.
See you next week.
Mwah.